Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to COD Zombies HQ for the second episode of Call of Duty WW2 myth busting. In this series, we take some of the myths within Call of Duty WW2 that you can send in the comments or on Twitter. Test them out and see if we can either bust them or confirm them. If you do enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up down below and let's get right into our first myth. Myth: you can kill an unlimited number of players with one sniper bullet so long as there is no damage drop off over range. In order to test this, we hopped into the headquarters map as a custom game using a method that seems to be patched now, but what we were able to do is have AI enemies spawn right on top of each other so that there will be no damage drop off over range when we actually decide to take our shot. There are 7 enemies within this stack, and let's take our first shot with a sniper rifle without high caliber. Once we aim up and take the shot, we can see that there is one enemy remaining out of the initial 7 that spawned in at that location. So it seems like the sniper without high caliber can take down 6 enemies with one shot. Now switching over to a sniper equipped with the high caliber attachment. Again, we have 7 enemies in the stack. Let's take this shot. And once again, there is one remaining, so it took down 6 enemies this time as well. Which means it seems like we can confirm that the maximum amount of enemies you can take down with one sniper shot is 6. And while 6 is a lot, it's not unlimited, so we're gonna have to bust this myth. Let's move on to our next myth. If you hit a care package plane with your guided bomb score streak, does it destroy the bomb and cancel out the score streak? So we're here on the map Gibraltar in order to test this. I tried to get this a bunch of times, just barely missing the care package plane each time until we actually got this run here, activated the guide bomb at the perfect amount of time after we actually dropped down the care package, and as you can see, crashing the guide bomb into a care package plane does destroy your guide bomb, thus ending your streak early. This myth is confirmed. Now, as an addendum to that myth, since we know that the care package plane will destroy the guide bomb, let's switch it over to the fighter pilot, and instead of using a care package plane, let's use a recon plane, which we know we can shoot down with a fighter pilot. You can obviously shoot a recon plane out of the air with your fighter pilot, but what happens when we crash our fighter pilot into that enemy recon plane? Will it destroy it? So we have our fighter pilot here again on Gibraltar getting lined up. We line up perfectly with an enemy recon plane, and it seems like we go right through the recon plane. It doesn't destroy our score streak, but looking back, it doesn't destroy the recon plane either. So it seems like you can destroy a recon plane with a fighter pilot by shooting it, but not by crashing into it. I really thought that one would work, but hey, I guess we're gonna have to bust this myth. Moving on to our next myth, sent in by Electric Pulsar YT on YouTube. He asked, can you get on top of the balloons on the headquarters? If you didn't know, there's a bunch of Barrage balloons sitting on the beach side in the headquarters map. In the last episode of World War II myth busting, we found out that you cannot blow up these Barrage balloons with rockets, but he's asking, can we actually stand on top of them or go inside of these Barrage balloons? So here we are in spectator cam. We're going to spawn right on top of these Barrage balloons and see if we can actually land on top of it. Here we go, and nope, it seems like we fall right through the Barrage balloon. That's very unfortunate. I'm gonna try another one over here that's a little bit closer to the actual playable area. Maybe this one has collision. Spawn right on top of it, and nope, this one too does not have any collision. You cannot get in or on top of the Barrage balloons. You just fall right through them. This myth is busted. Moving on to our next myth, can you play gun game in a private match? If you guys didn't know, gun game was actually recently added into Call of Duty for a weekly event. I don't believe it is available anymore. Checking here on the private match, it wasn't added into actual custom games, which is unfortunate, but we're working to see if we can jank out the game, glitch it out to let us play gun game in a custom match. The way we're going to do this is using the same method we did in order to get the grounds and score streak training in order to be played in a custom match, and that is by hopping into a gun game match up here. Then once we're in, we're going to go to our settings on the PlayStation. You can do this on the Xbox and PC too, similar process, but we're going to turn off our PlayStation's internet connectivity, then turn it back on. Before this actually let us play the grounds and score streak training in a custom game. We'll see if it appears here for gun game as well. So once we have our internet back on, we're gonna head right to custom games. Hopefully it cached the actual game type and we can play it, but unfortunately it defaults right to team deathmatch. And even checking out the recent game modes in the game type selection screen in a custom match, gun game does not appear there either. Unfortunately, this myth is busted. But here's hoping, guys, that they do indeed actually add gun game to custom matches in the future. Moving on to our next myth, this one's sent in by See You Bro over on YouTube. He asked, myth, can you kill the general? So what we're going to do to try this is hop into the 1v1 pit. It's the only place where we can actually get weapons in the actual headquarters. Hop in there in a matchup, shoot the general, and see if we actually can take him down. So once we're here ready for a 1v1, I'm gonna turn, shoot the general, and as you can see, unfortunately, nothing seems to happen to him. He just eats the bullets, or the bullets disappear as soon as they exit the 1v1 pit, similar to the grenades. On top of this myth, I'm also going to try it with Major Howard. And Major Howard is the only character model, or at least most of the character model, that appears when you actually play a headquarters map in a custom game. We're gonna see if we can take him down here, so let's start firing at him. Bullets don't seem to work. I'm gonna try C4 TNT as well, and that does not work either, so you can't take down the general or Major Howard. Unfortunately, here in the HQ, this myth is busted. Moving on to our next myth, is it possible to become invincible in a multiplayer match with friends within Call of Duty World War II? So this is an interesting myth to test out, and after doing a bunch of research and testing, there seems like there's only kind of one scenario where your character will become pseudo-invincible within this game. The only mode where this invincibility seems to become active is in the score streak training mode, which using a glitch you can actually play with your friends. So I have two other friends, including me, in this lobby here. We're going to hop in a game where one friend is going to be placed on my team and another is going to be placed on an enemy team, which once we hopped in here, you can see there he is. He's actually enemy. He doesn't actually have his gamer tag. It doesn't appear, it just says enemy, and we're hitting each other with our shovels. We're going to start shooting each other with bazookas, and nothing seems to actually affect us. We're not doing any damage to the enemy. He's not doing any damage to me. Melee damage, damage from bullets, and damage from the rocket launcher cannot affect each other. Therefore, we are pseudo-invincible within Call of Duty World War II. This myth is surprisingly, and at least for a certain scenario, confirmed. So now that we know in this mode we are invincible to the most common forms of damage within this game, let's take things a little bit further. Myth: can you survive a direct hit from a care package that is falling from the sky in Call of Duty World War II? Now, in normal gameplay, when you receive a direct hit from a care package, it will instantly take you down. But we're here in score streak training on London docks. We're calling in a bunch of care packages. Let's see if these care packages will actually take us down. So the first one hits us, the second one hits us, a bunch are hitting us. As we can see, we're getting hit markers. It seems like our screen is getting a little bit dirty, but we are not taking damage and we do not go down. Therefore, we can say yes, under certain circumstances, you can survive a direct hit from a care package within COD World War II. This myth is confirmed. So if we can survive explosive bullets and melee damage as well as taking a hit from a care package, what else can we survive? Let's see if myth, you can survive jumping in water in COD World War II. So we're here in the score streaks training on one of the only maps that has water within this game, and that is London Docks. First thing we're gonna try is just jumping in the water, see if we can actually die. Let's do it, and we do go down. It seems like there's a death barrier that no matter how much health you have, it insta-kills you once you pass that barrier. But since we are in score streak training, we have unlimited care packages. Let's throw a bunch of care packages, see if we can get care packages to land in the water, and maybe they can stack up and we can hop on top of them and see if that'll have any kind of effect. So we have a bunch of care packages here, we're calling them down, and it appears like once a care package actually hits the water, a few seconds later you can see bits of it exploding up above the water and the care package simply disappears. So it doesn't seem like we can stack care packages in order to kind of hop on top of them and stand on top of the water. So this myth is unfortunately busted. Moving on to our next myth, sent in by Rezaman94 over on YouTube. He says, myth: can you butt slide into the firing range and still fire your weapon? So we're going to activate the butt slide glitch here in the headquarters, and we got it here the first time. Let's head over to the firing range, and it seems like we can fire our weapon, but are we still butt sliding? It doesn't seem like we're gonna head back out of the firing range and we are back in the standing position. So it seems like Sledgehammer has patched this, where I'm pretty sure before, when you had a butt slide glitch enabled and you went into the firing range, the actual glitch stayed intact, that you were still sitting. But now it seems like as you head into your firing range, and I'll slow it down here, it auto stands up your character, gets you out of the glitch so that you can't slide around and fire your weapon in the firing range here in the headquarters. So unfortunately, it seems that this myth is busted. Well, that wraps up the second episode of Call of Duty World War II myth busting. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button down below. Subscribe for more great content to come. If you have a myth that you want us to test out in a future episode, definitely let us know down in the comments or over on Twitter. Link is in the description. Always love hearing from you guys on that platform as well. But I want to thank you very much for watching once again, and I'll see you with another Call of Duty video tomorrow. Peace out.